Hello, my dear podcast fam, and welcome back to my show. I hope you all are doing good, right? So, if you're new to this podcast show, I'm Damian Joshua, the host and producer of DJ's Corner, a podcast show, and right now you're listening to my podcast show. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter. All the links will be given in the podcast episode description, and it's on the podcast show description also. Free feel to follow. Now, let's come back to You and I, a love story. That it's been a very long, literally a very long gap. People, I'm so sorry. I couldn't even finish up the story. So I thought now it's a very perfect and right time to finish up the story which was, untold and left. So it's You and I, a love story, episode number 7. In the previous episode, we have listened to how the proposal happens and where Jerry goes and takes the footage and shows it to Jesse's parents, and how they literally blast him off like anything. And the scenario, what happens in year after, is that both Jesse, Anto, Leo, Jenny, all there, since they are in the college scenario, they have to move on with their life with all work, internships, doing this. So their life was going on like that, and the whole college life was completed successfully for all the 5. But here what happens is Jesse and Anto, their love becomes more strong and hard. They were literally mad on each other. So they decided to confess their love to the parents and get the approval, so that when they get settled in their life, that they might get married as well, and they can become a very good couple. But there were many problems. They had to think what our parents would think of us, what they were doing. They were so blindly, they were believing each other that they were going for studying, doing that, doing this, and looking after their own life. But when it becomes such a thing, it becomes a very, the parents, they feel very hard, that they become so stressed out that their child are like that their children are doing all these things. But finally they made it a point that this is going to be the final, and they had to tell it. And the reaction was very worse. They didn't even expect that to happen. Both the parents on both the sides, on Jesse's sides and on the sides, they told these two should not meet. They should not meet each other for their life. And it became such a big heartbreak for both of them that they literally can't be without each other. That's the real fact. When you are in deep love, you won't leave each other. You can't be separated. But here it became a very turning history, that Jesse was a very strong person, that she wanted Anto to be in her life. So she made it very good, and finally they got married. It was a very big grand day. They got married, even though the parents were all against, but finally everybody came back. All went on very well. They started to live a very perfect life. Their dreams, their accomplishments, everything came true. They couldn't even believe that this is happening. After the problems which they faced in the early life, and what I done, and still Jerry, he's now still in vengeance. He wants to take vengeance against both, but they all escaped from each and everything, and they are now living a very perfect life. And here comes to the end of You and I, a love story. It's a very short story, but yeah, that's all. And it's totally a very happy ending of this story. And again guys, it's a very short finale episode. It has become very small, and here the story gets over, even though there won't be a connectivity. But definitely guys, from episode 1 to 6, if you listen to all these things, you'll get a very good outcome of episode number 7. And episode number 8 will be the whole collective of this story. The story will be narrated fully in one shot, Okay, so it'll come out in a very good way, so you can understand the story well. And again, I'm going to remember you, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, guys. Definitely there'll be updates coming up there. It's again available on the podcast description, on the podcast show description, and it's on every episode description also. So definitely feel free to follow me. I guarantee you that there'll be content coming very soon. There's going to be, and it's going to be a surprise. That's all. I didn't want to say it. It's going to be a very huge surprise. So take care, guys. Stay safe, be careful, and bye bye from my podcast fam.